Hey everyone. I see a lot of people wishing that they had some cold email template that they would be able to leverage and get started using and things like that. And my first reaction to templates is always, why would you use a template? Because something that's going to work for one offer is not going to work for another offer. And then if you do use the template and it is something that works, if enough people use it, it's just going to get killed over time. And so as we are on our journey of Growth Engine X to try to find what works best for our customers, I was sitting and I was really thinking about, is there a cold email template that we can use for most of our customers? And if you've seen my previous video, I've gone over this template a little bit, the hypothesis on message market fit testing. This, we're just going to go deeper into this templated sequence. It's in the same doc. It's just, if you're looking for a cold email template, hopefully this will be helpful for you. So like I said, this template is the template from our offer validation or message market fit process. But I just wanted to make its own video in case you didn't watch that whole video. Or if you're just new to the content, welcome. My name is Eric Nowoslawski. We send 1.5 million cold emails a month on behalf of our customers. And I'm going to be honest, we opened our company really being a data operation more than anything else. And we would do crazy, crazy, crazy custom things for people. And I would spend hours putting together custom data processes for people. But then I found that if you didn't know what people resonated with, it didn't really matter. If the message wasn't good, it didn't matter what you personalized by. And so now what we're starting to do with all of our customers is we're starting to run templates for the first round of messaging so that we can learn about the market. And then once we learn about the market, then we figure it out. Because all too often we have, and if you're watching this video, you might be running your outbound yourself or thinking about how would I even run outbound. And a lot of times what we do is we come up with one idea, we write a full sequence for it. Writing the full sequence might take a little bit of time, and then we test that idea, it doesn't work, and then we iterate on that and we keep going. I wanted to think of a template that we could just use where we could really just put the messaging to the fire. And so what I mean by that is testing precisely the messaging that needs to get tested. And then the rest of the email could be totally personalized and modular so that we could use it for any customer and it wouldn't really matter. And then also, we're not sending out the same exact email every single time. Lots of reasons to be doing this. And so this is the first template that I've created. And I'm curious what I'll think about this template 6 months or a year from now. But anyway, what we're basically doing here is I wanted to put together an email sequence that could work for anybody, and it tests your messaging and everything changes. So if you see, hey, first name, recency waterfall, all this is if we don't have an easy thing to reach out to the company about that leads with relevance, then we just switch to recency. And so what I mean by relevance is we're working with one company right now that they help reps who are in enterprise sales cycles do enterprise sales better. So it's like, great, we'd swap out recency waterfall and we're going to say, I know you, it looks like you're selling into enterprise because Jason on your team has enterprise in their sales title on LinkedIn. Whatever, just that, like, we're going to lead with that relevance instead. But when it comes to a recency waterfall, we're just trying to find something recent about them of like, hey, there's this whole digital universe. What's that recent thing that just made it poke out into the universe and why we're reaching out to this person? So we'll try to see if they're new in their role, if a new leader has been hired at the company, if they're hiring for anybody. Did they post on LinkedIn? Has the company recently posted on LinkedIn? Just so that we could say, hey, I saw your post on LinkedIn about enterprise sales. I did some research on your company and saw how you help blah, blah, blah. And I thought we should be connected. We're helping other companies, and then we do messaging to be tested. So here, like I said, instead of having, one idea and then you create all this copywriting for this one idea, test it, a week goes by, and then it doesn't work, and then you have to reiterate. It's like, that's crazy. So now what I think people should be doing is just saying like, okay, this first line, check. Like, this just gets people's attention. If I just say, hey, saw you have enterprise sales reps on your team, and I figured we should get connected, you've like check, like you've got it done. That's exactly what an SDR would be sending if they were on your team. So let's just do that automatically. Then messaging to be tested. One of my favorite stories to tell here is one time we were working with a company. We still work with them to this day. They are a AI for phone support. So if you work with an e-commerce brand and you want to know like where your order is, you can call and then the AI will pick up the phone instead of a customer support, and it can answer all of your questions, and it's much better than a normal support line and all these things. And so a lot of their inbound comes in and they want to automate this call called Wizmo. So where is my order is what that stands for. And so 70% of e-commerce support phone calls are basically people just calling in and saying, hey, where's my order? So a lot of their inbound, they come in and they say, hey, where's my order? So we thought on outbound, a lot of people would care about that, but that wasn't the case. What people cared about more was when we emailed them and we said, hey, we noticed you have phone support hours from 9 to 5. Who's manning the phones when when your support team isn't working? We have an AI that can pick up the phone and answer your customers' questions so your support team doesn't get, drowned with requests in the morning. And for us to find that, we created like a full sequence for the Wizmo thing and then a full sequence for the after hours thing. And then what was worse was the time in between testing those two messages. It just took so long. But after hours was such a better message. And so that's why I think instead of harping on the template, we should just be testing as many main things here in that messaging, right? And so we could say here, like, I thought we should get connected. We're helping other companies, automate 70% of their Wizmo calls, or we're helping other companies, pick up the phone when their support team isn't working, right? Like easily we could just swap these things out right here. And then we were saying specifically, I think it could help you. And then AI generated line. This is just so that this template is truly modular. So we can use Clay, and maybe at the end of this video, I can show you what that would look like. But we could use Clay to, take in what their company does based on their website and then output, okay, hey, we do AI customer support. They help fitness enthusiasts breathe better. So then it would say something like, specifically, I think it could help you so that when your support team isn't working and people call about, you know, their breathing strips, that, they could get their questions answered faster, right? Like that's what it would turn into there with the AI line. So if we could help you pick up the phones so that your customers if we could help your customers get answers when your support team isn't working, would that be useful to you? Great. And that's just what this is our main messaging here. And then this AI generated analogy, this is something that I'm really loving recently is we'll say like, PS, just a way to think about this, the same way you guys help people do blah, 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 we help people do blah, blah, blah. So we can use AI to basically train the AI on what the company does and then work backwards and say, well, not even work backwards, but so every offer breaks down into helping people save time, save money, or make more money, right? So we can say, the same way that you're helping people breathe better, we're helping companies increase the satisfaction of their customer support, right? And so this PS just kind of gives us a sandwich between the first line and the PS line of really personalized content, one that isn't overused right now and I've not seen other people use except for honestly some of my friends and one of my friends in particular who uses this a lot. And so yeah, this is just like email one here, and I think this modulates for a ton of different offers. And then we could get into email two, where we'll just follow up and we'll say, I'd have to imagine you didn't leave past company, stoked to worry about problem. Again, messaging to be tested, no need to hop on a call. Could I send a video of how it works? So lots of stuff going in here. So one, we've already sent them a very personalized email up here, right? So I want to keep that personalization going. And so one of my favorite things to send in follow-up emails is, people left a company for a reason, and whether they hated that company that they used to work for or they loved that company that they used to work for and they hope this company would be that much better. I think something that everybody could resonate with is like, you didn't leave Salesforce stoked to worry about QR codes, or like you didn't leave Salesforce stoked to to manage, your sales reps commissions or things like that, right? Right. Like there's some problem that they're not stoked for, right? And so then we would insert more messaging to be tested, ideally something that isn't the same message as up here. So if you talked about, where is my order up here, you want to talk about after hours down here. No need to hop on a call. Could I send a video of how it works? This again is just trying to get somebody to raise their hand, because a lot of people might be interested in your offer, but they're not ready to take a call right now. So all we're trying to do is just get somebody to raise their hand and say, yeah, you know what? Let me just see. And so that we could just get somebody on our radar. And then email three, we say, hey, first name, let me know if full name of employee or full name of employee two would be better to speak to about this. Again, just keeping this personalization train going. This is one of my favorite ones to do. You can shorten it to just a full name of one employee. And then the other thing you can do is if you can't detect anybody on their company that you should be reaching out to, you can just, replace this and say, let me know if, you know, there's somebody else on the team I should be speaking to about this. One thing that we like to do with that line is I like to say, hey, on LinkedIn, I saw there's 200 people who work at the company, so this might not roll up to you. Is there somebody else I should speak to? That way we still have a personalization going. I had three ideas about how we could specifically help over a company name. And then again, we just AI generate these ideas. This is not only one of our best performing scripts of all time in here, this is also one of my best performing YouTube videos of all time. So I just know that there's a lot of resonance with this. Actually, I don't even know why I mentioned the YouTube thing, because who cares about the YouTube thing? The most important thing is that this is one of our best performing scripts other than this script. And the whole reason we are actually leading with this script is because we want to make sure that we're in control of the messaging here. The reason why we put this down here is because there's three ideas in here that AI might come up with something interesting that we didn't come up with that then applies to this company, and we could get them on the hook a little bit better. And so that's why I like to put, the three idea generation in the third email, because this is kind of our last attempt. And hopefully, and all the time, we'll get people who respond to this like crazy. I love this line, because people will either say, hey, no, actually this is my responsibility, great, we should talk. Or they'll say, you're totally right, Katie is in charge of this. Or they'll say, hey, it's none of those people, thanks for doing your research, it's actually Bob. I love this line a ton, and I really, really like putting it into our sequences. Just make sure that you check to see that the person that you're naming, it does not have the same first name as this person, because that's why we put the full name, one, but two, it just looks like trash if you like Carl. Let me know if Carl is the right person. Like, you don't want it. So just make sure if you're putting this together, you put that automated QA quality assessment in there. And yeah, so this is when we take on a new customer, this is one of the first templates that we'll run for them, because it is like, I basically tell them like, hey, we can do crazy things with data. Here's AI generated text out of the box that we should just use. What we really need to know is, do people resonate with your messaging? And what messaging do they resonate with the most? That's the most important thing we need to figure out when we're first doing this stuff. So I hope this was useful. And if you don't work with Growth Engine X, I hope you can use this for your own cadences. And if you do want to work with Growth Engine X, then we can run this for you. So thank you very much for watching.